Oh my goodness gracious. Between what the judge said, the jury member that has come out and spoke, and everything else, we have a lot to get into. Before we get into it though, I do want to let you guys know that this video is for educational and entertainment purposes only. Please remember to be kind to everybody everywhere in your everyday life, in your home, in the grocery store, and especially in the comment section down below. Please do not show hate to anybody, anywhere. Good morning, my lovelies, my beauties, my friends. My name is Christina and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, thank you so much for clicking on this video. I really hope that you will subscribe, stick around, take a chance in hearing some things that I have to say. And if you are a returning subscriber, y'all already know, y'all are my babies. So good morning, good morning, good morning. How is everybody doing today? I hope you all are having an amazing day. It is Friday. We are getting ready for the weekend. And you guys, this Alec Murdaugh trial has been mind-blowing. So much, many ups and downs. It's been like a roller coaster watching it and trying to follow it. And I am not going to lie to you guys. I am shocked at the outcome, and I'm going to tell y'all why, so stay with me here. And I know a lot of y'all agree with me, and I know a lot of y'all don't agree with me, and it's all good. I want to hear you guys' opinions one way or another and why you feel that way. I've already been talking about it over on my Instagram. If you don't know, I do have an Instagram as well as a Snapchat and a Facebook and a Patreon. My Patreon is for 18 and up, and over there we talk about either more personal story times, we go live over there, and we also have a $2 tier over there where all the true crime stuff that can't go onto YouTube due to their terms and policies, it goes over on my Patreon. Make sure you read what each tier offers before you join, but all of those links are down in the description box if you want to come and check me out. So I'm not gonna run down the whole Alec Murdaugh situation. It's just no possible way that I can. It's a very convoluted trial. It was a lot of stuff that was involved. There are multiple documentaries that are out, which is also crazy to me that documentaries literally were released while the trial was going on and while the jury was not sequestered. So that was very interesting how that happened. But if you guys didn't follow along, long story short, the trial literally ended yesterday on Thursday, March 2nd, 2023. And they had a verdict back within 3 hours. It was 3 hours and 1 minute was how long the jury was in the back. And they called everybody back into the courtroom in order to read the verdict. Now, a jury member has come out and spoke and said it actually only took them 45 minutes to come up with a verdict.
Everybody was pretty much talking, and about 45 minutes later, after all our deliberating, we figured it out.
And this jury member who spoke out on Good Morning America said that when they went to the back, 9 people already had decided he was guilty. 2 people said not guilty, and 1 person was unsure.
It was 2 not guilty, 1 not sure, and 9 guilty.
Which is very interesting because that's kind of close to what the numbers were on the polls that were being taken online. But the jury members said that after they deliberated back there for 45 minutes, the other 3 jury members changed their minds, went with guilty, and they came back out and served Alec Murdaugh a guilty verdict.
Okay. Guilty verdict. Signed by the forelady, 3/2/23.
Now, a lot of people were saying that he didn't show any emotion. I saw emotion from Alec. In my personal opinion, he looked like to me he was going to pass out. Like he was trying to keep his footing. He was rocking, which I can imagine. Like, he wasn't expecting a guilty verdict, I don't think. I wasn't expecting him to get a guilty verdict. And let me tell you guys why. Before I tell y'all my opinion, I'm just going to say my friends, my family, a lot of y'all in the DMs, there's a lot of y'all that were like, no, he's guilty no matter what, But I actually have friends that live up that way. Okay. I have one friend that lives in the Carolinas, and she believed from the beginning he was guilty. She knows about the family. She's from up there. She knows all that stuff. And she thought he was guilty from day one. However, even she believed that he would be found not guilty. She said he's guilty, but there's no way they're going to convict him. Me, on the other hand, I was looking at this trial as an outsider, and I said, yeah, he looks like a bad man. He looks like he lied a lot. He was an addict. He tangled a bunch of webs, and he completely tarnished his family's name. I mean, that part is just unbelievable to me, because when you look at everything that Alec Murdaugh had at his fingertips, he could have done anything. He could have been the good guy. He could have helped people, saved people. He could have, made his family legacy just turn into something beautiful, rolled it out with his children and kept it going on. I mean, his family legacy went on for over 100 years, but instead he squandered it. He took advantage of it. He manipulated people. He lied. He stole. And in the end, he left only one child alive with the last name Murdaugh in all of this history to follow him around for the rest of his life too, as well as all the people that lost their lives there. I mean, the domino effect that this man had, whether he was guilty or not, whether he really did this to his family or not, the domino effect that Alec Murdaugh created for all these other families is unreal. So I believe that Alec Murdaugh is a bad man. He's a liar, bad man. You know what I mean? Made a lot of bad choices, a lot. Was a thief, was a liar, not to be trusted. And I believe that he deserved to be in prison. However, when it came to this trial, I did not think that they proved without a reasonable doubt that he is the one that pulled the trigger on his wife and his son. I just couldn't come to the conclusion of how. And the fact that they even took the jury to the crime scene, which we know that they did that in the OJ trial, but this is not something that happens often. The defense took them there and they still came up with the verdict of guilty within 45 minutes is astonishing to me. So nevertheless, he was found guilty. I was thinking he was going to get found not guilty for this, and then later we would probably hopefully get to see the financial trial, and then that's where he would be sentenced, because he was facing life in prison just for this amount of money that he stole anyways. And he's already, up into his 50s. He wasn't going to get to walk free and have his life back again. We knew that. The judge sentenced him today. So literally yesterday, the trial ended. He was found guilty. And then now today on Friday, the judge already sentenced him. I mean, it was boom, boom, boom. And you guys, did y'all watch the judge? He lit into Alec Murdaugh like I have never seen a judge do before, in the most professional, poised way. I just know that judge is, oh my gosh, could you imagine him being like your papa or your dad or something, and you getting caught sneaking out and him sitting you down and telling you he's disappointed in you? Oh my gosh, please, no, never, never. Like the way that he talked so professionally and poised was like, I felt like I had done something wrong.
I don't know person who's always been such a gregarious, friendly person and cause your life to be tangled in such a web, such a situation that yours have spun into, and it's so unfortunate because you had such a lovely family of such friendly people, including you, and to go from that to this. Your license to practice law has been stripped away from you. Remind me of the expression you gave on the witness stand. Was it tangled?
Tangled web, we weave.
Oh, what tangled web we weave. What did you mean by that?
It meant when I lied, I continue to lie.
And the question is, when will it end? When will it end? And it's ended already for the jury because they've concluded that you continued to lie and lied throughout your testimony. And perhaps with all the throng of people here, they, for the most part, all believe, or 80, 90%, 99% believe that you continue to lie now when your statement.
And in my opinion, the judge said to Alec, without saying it to him, that if the death penalty wasn't off the table, I think he would have gotten the death penalty.
In this case, qualifies under our death penalty statute based on the statutory aggravating circumstances of 2 or more people being murdered by the defendant by one act or pursuant to one scheme or course of conduct. I don't question at all the decision of the state not to pursue the death penalty. But as I sit here in this courtroom and look around the many portraits of judges and other court officials and reflect on the fact that over the past century, your family, including you, have been prosecuting people here in this courtroom, and many have received the death penalty, probably for lesser conduct.
Oh my gosh, you guys, it was serious to watch. So then he sentenced Alec Murdaugh to 2 life sentences consecutive. He didn't even give them to him concurrent. So basically what he said to Alec was, listen, if you lose one of your lives and you just happen to have an extra life in that back pocket, well, you got a life sentence for that one too. I'm running them back to back. Like, holy cow. Now, Alec is going to appeal this, or is going to try to. I've seen different people say that he's out of money, but I've also seen professionals say that.
Good. I've done more appeals than any lawyer in America, probably, in criminal and murder cases. The rate of reversal on appeals is less than 5%. So let's understand the statistics here. It's possible he'll get reversals. I've gotten reversals, but the statistics go generally against. And when a defendant takes the stand, the statistical likelihood of reversal is even lower, because the court will find harmless error because the jury probably focused on the demeanor of the defendant. So although there will be an appeal in this case, statistically, the likelihood of a reversal is very low. He's
never getting out. He's never, ever, ever getting out. So I really feel like he should just go ahead and go into prison and like make his bed and, you know, get comfortable, because he's not getting out. Now, at the end of all this, my opinions are, and I look at things through my perspective, right? I'm looking at this man on trial who is now saying he's 500 and something days sober. And we have talked about this so much on this channel years ago when I talked about prison stuff or whatever. And I told y'all that when I was, when I was in the county jail, I would see people come in off the streets and they had been like on binges for days or weeks at a time, and they would go to sleep, and when they would wake up, they would not know exactly why they were in there, what they did, and they realized they had done something horrible. They couldn't take it back, but they were on substances, they were high or whatever. And I'm sitting here looking at Alec Murdaugh, who said that he was taking pills for decades, that he was addicted big time. And he even said that he was spending $50,000 a week on pills, which I don't believe that he was really spending that much. I think he was hiding money. However, he had a problem, okay, for many years. So imagine being this man who had what some people would consider everything, okay? I don't think he had everything, because if he had everything, he wouldn't be living the life that he was living. But nevertheless, let's just say he had everything at his fingertips. A very privileged life, that's for sure. And he stayed so twisted out of his mind, stealing and lying and conniving and robbing from like some of the most vulnerable people that had lost their family members. He was stealing from them and doing whatever he was doing with it, buying pills, funding this, whatever. And now he's in jail sober. And man, those thoughts, if he is not a pure psychopath to his core, and he could be, I don't know him. If he has got any bit of like human inside of him, man, them thoughts are going to torture him for the rest of his life. I am telling you guys what, because he was so high that whole time and he had all this money and he just kept feeding his addiction. And now he's in jail sober and he's lost everything. And he left his son out there too. I do feel a little bad for Buster. I know some people don't feel bad for him, but I do. I mean, he's a product of his environment. You can't choose who your parents are and the way that he was raised. And I feel for him as a victim, just like I do the other families who lost their family members. And then also any little bit of property or anything that Buster will receive from his dad, or because his mom and his brother's dead, they're gonna get sued now because he was found guilty. I think, in my opinion, I don't know. They're gonna come and sue the estate, and they're gonna pretty much take everything. It's just wild. This is like a movie. And then to think about Alex Murdaugh being in prison. Let me tell y'all how this is going to go for him. His family and him have sent people to death row, and now it's his turn, okay? He's gone from socially up here, never having to worry about how much gas he puts in his car. Y'all know how it is when you got, okay, I got $7. I'm going to have to put that in gas in my car. That's all I got so I can get to work, right? Never even had to think about that. Never had to think about going to a restaurant and what food order he was going to buy if he was going to have enough money to pay the check. Never worried about the food he was going to put on the table for his family or the clothes that he was going to buy for his kids or how much gas his kids could put in their boat. Never had to think about a single thing like that. He's going to go to prison and he's going to stand in line butt naked at 50-something years old with every other criminal there. He's going to have to bend over, squat, cough, lift it up, jiggle it around and everything so they can see all in between there. They're going to look in his mouth, and they are not going to care that his family was part of this dynasty for 100 years. You're just another inmate. You're inmate 92713, whatever his number will be. That's it for the rest of his life. He will shower next to other men forever. He's going to get pushed around, shoved around. He's a nobody now. Nobody in there. He's going to have no pull. Nobody's going to care. He's going to eat slop. He's going to get yelled at. If he's in there for the rest of his life, he's probably going to get in a couple fights or at least get beat up, taken advantage of. He's never, ever, ever going to be able to see his wife smile again or his baby boy smile again or go out on the boat or go to these parties. It's over forever. And that alone is like, when you think about that, is from his perspective, it's crazy. It's crazy, crazy, crazy. And I know a lot of you guys, you always wonder what happens to these people. That is his life. He went from here to here like that in 45 minutes. That's it. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section down below. For those of y'all that don't think he did it, okay, who do you think did it? It's hard because I get it, because that time frame of his voice being heard on that video was within minutes of the alleged murders of his wife and son. But you guys, the investigators came there and said that they could tell the body's temperature by sticking their fingers in their armpits. When have y'all ever heard of such a thing? When have you ever heard of an investigator going to a crime scene and saying they stuck their hands under their armpits? Like, this whole trial was wild. What do you think? I guess I think that, I don't know. Until I heard the judge speak, and I'm going to tell y'all guys this in one second. Until I heard the judge speak, I thought that his dirty dealings, his robbings, him scheming and scamming, probably dealers that he had ripped off, whatever, was coming to the hunting camp to meet him, and he knew it, and he allowed his son and wife to get murdered as payment for his debt. That way he didn't have to feel like it was him. That's what I've been thinking this whole time. I still thought he was involved. I just didn't think he pulled the trigger. However, When the judge gave his speech at the end, Alex said to the judge that he did not hurt his wife and son and he never would. And the judge said this to him.
And I tell you again, I respect this court, but I'm innocent. I would never, under any circumstances, hurt my wife, Maggie, and I would never, under any circumstances, hurt my son, Paw.
Well, and it might not have been you. It might have been the monster you become when you take 15, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 opioid pills. Maybe you become another person. I've seen that before. The person standing before me was not the person who committed the crime, though it's the same individual. We'll leave that at that.
And when he said that about the monster you become, it made me go, wow, maybe that is true. Maybe Alec can stand up there and say that, not just because he's a con man and a liar, but because maybe he disassociates from the person that he was when he was using, the monster that he was when he was using. What do you guys think? Let me know down below. Other than that, y'all have a wonderful weekend. I will see you guys next week. I love you guys. Thank y'all for being here, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.